Hi everyone, welcome to my channel The Unspoken Conversation. यहाँ हम उन टॉपिक्स के बारे में बात करते हैं, उन्हें एनालाइज करते हैं, जिनके बारे में हम घर में खुल के चर्चा नहीं कर पाते. With these videos, we hope that more open conversation regarding uncomfortable topics start happening in a family. Today's video is all about breaking patterns of toxic relationship. Before that, I want to give you a disclaimer that our research pool for this video comprised of women. इसलिए जो भी examples use किए गए हैं वो एक women के perspective से किए गए हैं. However, the learning remains the same for both. चलिए, let's dive into our topic by asking one simple question. When you look back to your relationship in the past, do you see any similarities? Think hard. Maybe you have ignored red flags in your relationship, or your usual type is someone who can be described as a player, or someone who is already committed, or someone who is single but emotionally unavailable. Just sit back and draw parallels within your relationship in the past. You will for sure see a pattern there. So coming back to our resource pool, I asked the same question to 15 women within the age group of 20 to 40 years. One of the replies, rather her journey, really caught my attention, and I want to take that as an example for the purpose of understanding our patterns. She simply replied, I always went for someone who was always emotionally unavailable, in one way or the other. Scenario changed in every relationship, but the underlying factor that was common was they all were emotionally unavailable. She went on saying that in one relationship, the guy was controlling and possessive. In other relationship, the guy was committed. In the last relationship, guy was in an open relationship with 0% of emotional intimacy. Now that she has found a common pattern in her past relationship, I asked her to tell me how she was in all three relationships. It gets difficult when it comes to ourselves. So I asked her to take herself out of the equation and look at it objectively as a third person. She replied, I was toxic, insecure, used to crave drama, begged for attention, was giving and only giving love, and got very little in return, but held on to whatever little I was receiving. Was cheated upon in all three relationships, yet chose to stay and suffer, and continued in the relationship for the longest time with no self-respect and self-esteem until it was impossible to stay. I asked her to think deep and to tell me whether her own patterns reminded her of something or not. Not to my surprise, she replied, I felt familiar. It felt like home. While we always blame our partners for failed relationship, but actually our relationship not working has never to do anything with our partners. Not that I'm justifying their actions. They'll have their own journey, but it's not that we need to work upon. The point which I'm trying to make here is most of us project our earlier attachments and relationship while growing with our dad in case of girls and mom in case of guys in our present relationship. While in an ideal world, we would like to believe that we have a loving, nurturing and protected childhood where we feel safe, encouraged and loved. But in reality, for pretty much everyone, our relationship with our parents is pretty complex and likely to include anger, frustration, resentment and pain. इसलिए as tempting it is, आप अपने partner को change करने में लग जाओ for relationship to work, take a break, spend time with yourself, ask difficult questions. Knowing all the red flags, having all the clarity, why do I still proceed every time? And you will get answers. Maybe you are someone who sabotages a relationship from beginning, or emotional intimacy gets too much for you, or someone getting in your inner space gets too suffocating for you. So subconsciously you have always have an exit strategy ready, and those red flags can be your way out. Yet you don't leave completely, cause you thrive in toxicity, pain and trauma, cause these things are known to you and you seek comfort in them. Please understand this very carefully. Wanting these things doesn't make you a bad person or defines you. In fact, it makes you self-aware. And only self-awareness can lead you to a journey of healing and breaking your toxic patterns.